Hey everyone, it's me. This is RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars 6, Episode 3. Don't even know the title because I forgot to look. So Jiggly's gone, Raja won, and they're still kind of talking about track record. You know, who's doing what. Everyone voted for Jiggly except Trinity, who voted for Yara. And they're kind of discussing it, and I don't really know if Trinity voted for Yara because Yara voted for her, or whether, because she did earlier on in the episode talk about how Yara was walking around, giggling, goofing off, joking around. Now, maybe that bothered her specifically because Yara tried to, you know what I mean? Like, maybe it's all enmeshed. It wouldn't be surprising to me if it was a case of her voting her back. I mean, we've kind of seen it. That's pretty normal. If someone tries to get rid of you, it's like, we're going to go by track record unless someone's specifically out to cut off my head, in which case. Anyway, Ginger kind of talked about, you know, go down track record. Anyway, they go in, next episode, you're going to be in teams. You're going to write and perform in a commercial for a drag-related side hustle. Put them all in order, shortest to tallest, and then break them into groups that way, which was interesting. So Ginger, Akaria, Jan, and Silky are in a Rent-A-Queen, sort of like a fix-it situation. Then Trinity, Pandora, Raja, and Yara are, they're the drag fixers. Rent-A-Queen was, I wrote notes, and I'm like, what are these notes? Ginger, Akaria, Jan, and Silky are Rent-A-Queen, like a fill-in, like when you need a queen for something. And then Trinity, Pandora, Raja, and Yara are drag fixers. Sort of like it's meant to, they kind of, they all were given these prompts, and they all kind of took them and then kind of did things different. So they're supposed to be drag fixers. And then, but the thing was like fixer, like Olivia Pope, who from Scandal, right? Scandal. She's supposed to fix situations, and they became more like fixers, like what if your shoes are or your wig's coming off? It's all duct tape. Fine. And then the tall group was Kylie, Scarlett, and Eureka, and they do drag exorcism, which they didn't decide it should be drag exorcisingism, where they exorcise away the demons. Wasn't the strongest landing joke to me, because it felt like one too many elements, but it wasn't bad. And in fact, I'd say that this episode was, they all performed so well that we're definitely separating the B plus from the A's. You know what I mean? Like, even the people who eventually go home, we're talking about B plus performances, A minus performances. So these are not, oh, excuse me, I am a mess. And then Ross and Michelle would be like the directors, and so they would go off of that. Once again, it's never been addressed. We kind of have to figure out, which is like, how much does the difficulty of their performance weigh into the final judging. And I'll say that I got up this morning, tried to watch the episode, took me all day to watch, but did not check anything, Instagram, you know, Twitter. I didn't check any of the tags because I didn't want to spoil it. Instead, I spoiled it myself by getting out the Paramount, my phone. I mean, my phone's big, but it's not like one of those huge ones, and I watch it on here. And so the icon is like this big, so I accidentally clicked on the untucked instead of the actual episode. So, excuse me, I don't know why I'm suddenly so tired. So when you click on the untucked episode, it starts with, this is the losing, you know, it starts with, and this is the losing group. And this was the winner. And then I was like, that's a weird way to start the episode. Things must have gone really awry. And then I realized, like, oh no, I'm watching the wrong thing. And if you think, like, how high were you to have that? I don't know. My brain was like, this is a terrible way to start an episode, but this is how it is. And then I found out what happened. And it was awful. Anyway, Yara's being a lot. She's always being a lot. I don't really mind it, but I can see how the teammates might find it difficult, especially to be cohesive. Anyway, they go, the exorcising group, they kind of want to do some improv, and Kylie's not quite sure with that. Rent-A-Bitch, the escort service, it was a lot. They had a lot of stuff. Now I'm going to say this. Silky was right. When they were talking and they just kept talking about different scenes, Silky didn't say a word the whole time and then cut away and said, you know, she's like, I'm just really concerned because we have all this stuff and it's going to be hard to pull off. And I agree, Silky, that was a perfect right analysis, but she didn't say anything. And she did get into it more. At the time it happened, I was like, I wonder, you know, she's been really quiet. And it's a direct reaction to the pushback she got in season 11. And anyone who has had a character flaw, I'm going to say character flaw because I'm thinking of my own thing, and has tried to work on it, tends to go too far the other way. Oh, you talk too much? Fine, I won't talk at all. Oh, I tend to get really loud and excited? Fine, then I'm never going to, you know, I'm never going to talk at all. Most of mine are around talking. But the idea is it takes a while to figure out what's your authentic self and what is, you know, when can I settle in the piece. You know, there's a Brene Brown quote, which is like, don't puff up, don't shrink back, but hold your sacred space. And I think that'd be a great quote for Silky. So I really do feel for her because I don't want to see anyone crushed by the fandom. You know, I thought she was a lot. I thought she was sometimes pushing it, but I don't necessarily want to see her crushed either. And of course I, you know, feel bad because, you know, I thought, well, I didn't like her as much in that season. So, you know, my part of the problem. But anyway, you could just see Silky be a little bit tired this episode, and a little low energy and a little unsure energy, and it came through. They do a redemption runway. There were some greats and there were some lows, but in general we go, but I'm so bummed. I wrote highlighter on the face, and I had this great joke, and then Michelle Visage literally told the same joke. I was going to make that exact joke, which is like the Angelica Houston in the Addams Family movie where they only light her right here, and that's what Ginger looks like. A few other queens have it as well. I wrote it about Ginger because it's so extreme, and I can't believe that exact joke Michelle said, because who's going to believe me? Anyway, I'm also low energy. The Fix It bitch are the winner. Trinity wins. I thought Trinity did a great job. I was surprised that they just gave her the win, though, because I didn't think that she was so heads and tails better that she was going to just get the win without there being any like winners discussion. So that was kind of funny to me. They just kind of gave, I mean, they did kind of go back and forth, but it definitely felt like Trinity was definitely really strong in that group, but you can't help thinking like, oh, she was in the bottom, now she's she started out in the bottom and then she was in the middle, now she's in the top, that kind of thing. But oh my god, I had a big lunch and now I'm exhausted. Anyway, Trinity comes back into the room, super intense, like, no one's even congratulated me. She's pretty intense this season, but it's very much like we're really that, and then really like, let me give you the most aggressive pep talk you've ever heard, and everyone's like, because it wasn't bad. It was like, when I say it was intense, it was also like, because you're in the bottom does not mean that you are bad. You are all outstanding. You are amazing. You better not forget it. You're like, it's like wow, okay. Anyway, so we go, they go, and the group agrees. So the group, I'm going to kind of mix in some untucked stuff, which is when the top group went back and they said, who do you think it is? They all agreed that Jan, Ginger, Ikaria, and Silky's group was probably the bottom. And they agreed that Ikaria and Silky were the bottom of that bottom group, and that Eureka was the strongest of the safe group. That's just what the judges said. That's what everybody else said. So there was no real disagreement here. They all kind of saw the same thing, and I always feel like when the judges say something and all of the contestants say the same thing, I go, okay, they have the whole picture. They saw the whole thing, and so maybe there was even more, that I didn't see. So that's a big deal, is that they all agreed. And that's going to be really useful next week, because it sounds like Jan and Ginger kind of were like, yeah, we were in the bottom, but not really in the bottom. And then other people were kind of offended but it sounds like that's kind of what everybody saw, so we'll see about that. Laganja is our lip sync assassin. Gave her the win, although frankly I thought that they both did excellent. And I am curious. So typically in a drag season, they have they used to have an iPod of potential songs, and they didn't know which one it was going to be. And so that was why sometimes they might know the words, sometimes they might not. Sometimes they would have like choreographed dances, and sometimes they wouldn't, but it's because you didn't really know which song it was. Now, is that the same for this? I mean, there's no way that the girl who lip syncs could possibly know, but does a lip sync assassin know? And they certainly don't, even if they're told like a day ahead of time, they have nothing else to do. I mean, you know, they got other stuff to do, but they're not in a competition. So it's kind of interesting to me, like, do they both go into it having an equal amount of preparation, or does the lip sync assassin have more preparation? So I'm a little curious about that. Another thing is, of course, the lip sync assassin is in an outfit that they only have to lip sync in. I think they know the song. Anyway, I'm sure it's not too skewed, because I think someone would say it if they were like, I didn't know until 30 seconds, and Laganja over here had 4 weeks to prepare. Anyway, I'll be interested to see how I was really bummed. I didn't really want Silky or Carrie to go, but of course the other part of me goes, well, who would you be okay going? And it's like, well, no one really. I mean, I have some ones that I am not as excited about, but no one's doing badly. So Silky might go home. Excuse me. I wonder if this is, I keep thinking of Top Chef and the Last Chance Kitchen. Like, are they all, they come out and like the winner gets to come back to the show or whatever. So anyway, I'm sorry that I keep yawning. I would refilm it, but I think I'll have even less energy if I do that. So anyway, I'll see you later. Bye.